Hey guys, this is Soldier here, and this is my new What If. Thank you for voting on which Hunter x Hunter character you want. What if Deku had Killua Zoldyck abilities? Rebellious. And I hope you like this video, I hope you subscribe.
Hey there everyone, my name is Zuku Zoldyck. Nice to meet you. Well, if you want to ask me on what my job is, I might kill you. And that ain't metaphorically, I know. But I'm just kidding. Huh? You want me to explain what this world is? Oh, I'll tell you. This world has 80% of everyone having a quirk that is like a superpower. 20% have no quirk, basically quirkless. And my family is pretty strong, even if they aren't quirkless. And here I'm going to tell you the light and the darkness. Those who fought in the light are called heroes. I don't know why they're called heroes, but my family call them spotlight pigs. And I don't get why they're called pigs like that, but yeah, they do tend to hog the spotlight. I can see that. But I kinda like them, honestly, much more than my family's job. And those who took to a dark side, those are called villains. They basically, well, do crime and do evil acts, like murder. Well, both of them fought to keep in their own way. Villains want to change and destroy this type of thing, while heroes do, well, heroing thing. I don't get why that, but okay. Let me give you a proper intro for my own good. Welcome to My Hero Academia. Then we get to a leading intro of the giant user villain making havoc, and heroes are keeping the villain in check, not trying to harm anyone, and Death Arms keeping everyone safe from the building collapse. Backdraft keeps a line, putting everyone away from the villain's combat, with Kaiman Wood. Kaiman was fighting against the giant user villain. And see, and I was looking at this spectacle and looking at it like, wow, this is quite interesting. And then somebody asked me, "Hey there, kid, are you a fan of heroes?" And I gave off saying, I wouldn't say a fan, but I'm quite interested in what they do. And the man says, "Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were a fan. I saw that comic book you had." And I look at it. Oh, right. I forgot to put this in my pocket. And then I look back. It's over. And the man says, "Huh? How do you know?" And then Sugu points at Luck when he was looking behind. And the man looks, oh, he almost is gonna take it. After Kaiman goes to finish the giant villain user off, Mount Lady basically steals it and takes down the villain, taking the fame all to herself. And all the other heroes were basically looking at her like she took the spotlight, basically like that. And the man says, "Huh? Did you?" Then he sees Zuku gone without a trace. Zuku then sighs and says, "Man, that hero really need to stop being flashy. I thought my brother gets very annoying, but this over-exaggeration with becoming famous, I don't get it, but I do like the job." And then Sugu gets into a hotel and relaxes. Nothing like resting up. Then Sugu then opens the magazine and reads, UA. Takes a deep look into it and thinks to himself, maybe I can be a hero. It's going to be fun, that's for sure. Sugu was obviously walking around, just going to find the place that is called UA, because we've never been there. And Suki says, where's the direction? Then he stumbles across a alleyway of dark and broken roads. And Suki thinks, this place is obviously filled with criminals just by thinking of it. Suki casually walks and until he stumbles across a sewer hole. It bubbles. And Suki then heard that sound. And then a unknown person comes out of there. Suki jumps back before that person grabs him. And then Suki says, so no wonder I was sensing some threat. It was you. And then we see the villain. Well, you're such a nosy brat, aren't you? And Suki then covers his nose. Jesus, did you cross between a sewer pipe? Or are you just made like that, you sludge jerk? And then the villain says, smartass, it's my quirk. It's called Sludge. And Suki then thinks, shouldn't even told me about that, idiot. It's gonna be hard to land a decisive hit on him. Then the Sludge villain says, now, give me your body, kid. And Zuki says, yeah, no, I want some idiot targeting me. And then the Sludge villain says, why you? And then the Sludge villain goes on an attack with his tendrils of sludge going attack Zuko. Zuko then dodges and weaves around the Sludge villain's attacks. And Zuki says, wow, you seem desperate after dodging each attack while talking. And then the Sludge villain says, I am sick of your stupid rants! And then the Sludge villain goes for his legs. But Zuki dodges when he does that. Zuki then sighs and says, you really are such an idiot. Then the Sludge villain gets pissed off and goes for another attack on Zuko. But then Zuko dodges it with his own trick. Let's see if you can figure out this one. And then Zuko slowly, but ever so quietly, makes after images with just moving in very calm and a cocky manner with this. And Sludge villain says, what the? Making after images? Like going that fast? The hell? Thinks to himself, I'll kill you like a goddamn grape. And Suki says, go ahead. All of the after images were mocking him. And the Sludge villain's tendrils tries to attack all of them, but all of them were just missed. And then the Sludge villain goes for another leg attack. But then when he does that, Suki then says, you are left wide open. And then he goes for an attack on the Sludge villain and hacks at him with his hand. Suki was behind the Sludge villain. And Suki says, damn it, I thought I had him. And then the Sludge villain says, stupid runt, you thought piercing and cutting would work? My body is sludge. Nothing can, like piercing, cutting, or bludgeoning could work. And Zuki then looks at him. I guess I lost my edge for a second. This time I won't miss your eye. And the Sludge villain says, you'll die! And then when he says that, then a person comes and says, don't worry, because I am here! And then the Sludge villain was shocked. Then Zuki was surprised to hear
a familiar voice. And then unknown figure says, Detroit Smash! Knocking out the Sludge villain. And Suki then whistled. And then All Might says, hello there, young citizen. Are you okay? Suki says, yeah, I'm okay. I was basically fending him off. And then All Might says, that's great to hear ya. Now I gotta get this villain to jail. And then Zuki sees All Might putting the Sludge villain in the bottle. And Suki thinks, now that's embarrassing. That Sludge villain. He laughs a bit when seeing the Sludge villain being put into a Coca-Cola bottle. And then All Might says, what's so funny? And then Suki says, sorry, just funny to see someone in a Coca-Cola bottle to be in prison. And All Might says, it seems you got humor, young, what's your name? And Suki then introduces himself. My name is Zuki. I'm wondering where to go to UA. And All Might says, UA, huh? All Might explains where UA is to Zuki. And Zuki says, thanks. And then All Might says, alright, I have to go, civilian, or young Zuku. It's great to meet you. And Zuki says, it's great to meet you too, All Might. Then Zuki noticed something unusual with All Might's body. And Zuki says, And All Might says, what's the matter, young Zuku? And Zuki says, are you injured in any way? And All Might says, what do you mean by injured? I hardly take any damage. And then Zuki thinks, seriously? Then Zuki then says, alright, why don't I? Then hitting All Might in the injured spot, not as hard, but as gently as he can. And All Might felt, and Zuki thought, yep, that's what I thought. And All Might says, how did you know, young Zuko? And Zuki says, I have a knack from pointing out weaknesses. And then All Might says, do you know you haven't told me your last name, can you? And then Zuki says, right, my last name is Zoldyck. And All Might says, Zoldyck, you're from the Zoldyck family, aren't you? And then Zuki says, yeah, laughing it off, but then All Might says, it's quite rare to see one of the Zoldyck's family. It's quite dangerous as well. You would get killed just by a mere presence. And Zuki says, yeah, subtly laughing at that appointment. And All Might says, what does a young Zoldyck like you want to be a hero? And Zuki says, I just want to do it for fun. And All Might gets very with a strict face, saying, are you really sure, young Zoldyck? And Zuki says, well, besides that, I'm kinda not wanting to be an assassin because my family wants me to be cold-blooded on it, killing and everything. So I don't really want to do that and follow my family's path. And All Might says, quite interesting. And Zuki says, yeah. And then All Might says, you better be careful, they won't let you off that easily. And Zuki says, oh, I know that. Having a migraine out of that. And All Might says, why don't you come to the UA class room? It'll keep you safe from the Zoldyck from your family. And then Zuki says, I guess it's fine. And then both Zuki and All Might were off to put the villain in bars and also put the Zuki in a very safe place in UA. And then Suku then stretches his arms and legs. Suku was in the UA room and was basically in very safe conduct. But he can train if he wants to in UA. And All Might says, "Alright, let's see how strong you are." And Zuki says, "That's actually pretty simple, Mr. All Might." And then All Might says, "Let's see, give me an estimation, young Zoldyck." And then Zuki says, "I can lift up or push a 64-ton door." And All Might was surprised. "You're even stronger than a normal kid." And Izuki says, "Oh, that's a breeze. I'm up to 70 tons. I'm 15. I can do this 5 bench press thing." And then All Might was honestly excited to hear what Izuki and how strong he is. Speed reaction, he could blitz the normal student with ease. And his fighting style is assassin techniques from the Zoldyck family, but with him advancing like a prodigy. And All Might was honestly a bit scared, but also surprised on how well he progressed with his training. But he doesn't know his quirk. And All Might then asked Zuki about his quirk. And Zuki says, "Oh, that's easy." And then he puts his fingers together, and electricity comes out. And All Might says, "What's your quirk called?" And Zuki says, "My quirk is called electricity amplification. I can increase the voltage to my well-being, but my body will get very stinging. But I'm used to that. I can resist 1 million volts. If it was 2 million, then that's like 2 electric eels biting my nut." And All Might then covers that part of his body, hearing that. And Suki laughs, having a bit fun with the training that All Might explains, and with other heroes explaining as well. Then, about on top of a building, a person with black hair and eyes that look like a cat look at, well, Zuko. And the tall man says, my little brother is in UA." And then he was on the phone and then says, "Should we get Killua Suku back?" And then a woman appears. "No, we need to be strategic. Bloom, don't get so full of yourself in anger." And then Alumi says, "Oh, Mom, you make it so difficult." And then he hangs up, and Alumi looks at Zuko, laughing and having fun. And Alumi says, "Oh, Zuko, I'm gonna take you back home." Then about 3 years have passed. Zuko has increased his skills on having good combat and getting better with his electricity. And when Zuko was out of bed, he gets ready to get in, but a certain person stops him and says, "Alright, Zuko, Zoldyck, I have a plan for you." And Zuko says, "What is it? What are you up to, Azawa?" And then Zawa smirks and says, "I have something fun that you could do." And Zuko says, "Huh? Spell it out. Let me hear." And Zawa says, "Don't get too cocky." Alright. He whispers it to Zuko, and Zuko smiles and says, "They won't see that one come." "Alright, it's a deal." And both Zuko and Izawa shook their hands on that. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time. Plus Ultra!